He walked up, looked me dead in my face and said, "Your smell is offensive."
Oh, God.
That was the end of my musty phase. Chris and David, straight A students.
And we didn't understand why y'all made C's and D's. Like, we eating the same dinner, we got the same parents, we y'all went to the same school. What's the problem? I don't think I've even thought about proposing to a woman.
I thought you were about to say kiss a girl.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion.
Building. Welcome back, folks, to another episode of That's How You Feel. As always, I'm your host. My name's Caleb Anthony. I'm joined by my co-host, Levi.
No, it's referenced the other host.
Yeah, I'm with the other host today. I love that, man. I love our intro. Shout out to Julia, our producer, for creating that.
I didn't tell Julia, but Caleb was like, "Are you okay with the intro?"
I'm not okay. Like, I'm truly not okay with it. Like, I would rather me be the other host. I don't.
Well, listen, my wife's the one that made it, and I'm just the other guy.
She made that?
Julia created it.
Like the beat and everything?
No. She didn't do the beat.
Visually and everything.
Oh, yeah. The
beautiful.
visuals is all her.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
She's
when we
blessed.
tried to, during the first season, Julia and I tried to sit in the studio and like create our own music. And after like 2 hours, we had nothing.
Yeah, that happens.
It was real bad.
Which, as you guys can see, we have a special guest with us. Is this my camera?
That's your camera.
Okay.
Oh God. Got a
He
special
is the
guest.
international man of mystery.
The international man.
He is
The legend.
introducing Mr. Davix.
And, yeah.
Listen, I've called him 3 names today, and that's because I still don't know which name to call him.
You know, I don't know what people should call me in, here in Kansas City that are my brother's friends and family. They call me David. My family calls me Lil Dave.
Yeah.
But
so if you
else,
feel so inclined,
I got Lil Dave from Q.
Who's Q?
Quinn.
Quinn?
Don't nobody call
calls
him
it
that.
what? He doesn't even call himself Q.
Don't nobody call him that.
I just tried it out. Apparently, I don't know where that came from. Q1, that's where it came from. His
That's
Instagram
not even.
handle.
No, it's Q. Never mind. We're not going to do that.
XB1.
Hey, if you want to, you can call him DeV, or if you feel so inclined, Lil Dave.
That's the problem.
Nah, only family can call me Lil Dave.
Only family calls you
Only
Lil.
family.
And you have told me, so like I was this is why I was David is what I've always known.
That's his
you
name.
As. I know, I've always known you as. And then I'm going to LA and we're going to hit up your studio while we're there. And he's like, but everyone there calls him Davix.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so do I call him Davix or David? Either one.
Absolutely.
First of all, he'll turn around no matter what you say. David, what? DeV, what? Like his head will turn either way.
We'll see. We'll see.
Now, if you call him Lil Dave, he might go.
Well, he did kind of give me a look a little bit when I came in the house and I said, "What, Lil Dave?" He was like, "Nah, I ain't here for no."
Because he's you unfamiliar to him.
Yeah, get familiar.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, share. Like, y'all really not sharing this podcast for real. Like I thought y'all would. But
Also, I've YouTube comments have been down.
What y'all doing?
We want to respond to you. We
Yeah.
want to know your thoughts.
Well,
I will
whatever.
say, I'm not gonna mention it right now, but Laura from our one of our Patreon subscribers,
Thank you, Laura.
had sent in a request on a comment today. So next time we film, I'm gonna have a challenge for us.
Bet. So let's just get into some comments from some previous episodes. So the recent ones come from we were talking about celebrities that died.
This is when Caleb didn't know pop culture.
I first of all, I am not in touch with anybody that.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
I
celebrity
mentioned the
deaths.
rapper that died the other day. You didn't know he was passed away. That's crazy.
You said it was
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph. I was like, I don't know.
Hey man,
Okay, did you know which one was it? Was it Tim?
OJ. Oh,
You know OJ died?
Simpson.
Yeah.
I think I. Wait a minute.
I think I did.
I think I heard he died.
Okay, what about
Yeah.
was it is
Toby
it
Keith.
Toby Keith? You know Toby Keith died?
Nah, you told me that the other day and I was surprised. No. Actually, I wasn't surprised. I just didn't. I mean, God rest his soul.
Do you know who Toby Keith is?
Now I do, since you told me. We don't.
That was
No.
Caleb's response.
was
No,
like,
but we had
no.
that one kind of popped off for a little bit. People enjoyed how clueless you were, so
Yeah,
we might
some of the
do
comments-
some pop culture stuff in the future.
May Slice said, "I want to be as clueless and out of the loop as this man."
Which honestly, me too.
That's a good place to be for sure.
Yeah.
I don't follow that stuff, but hey, May Slice, thank you for commenting.
Hannah said it's been a while since I actually LOL'd out loud to a video. So I just want to say thanks. We're here to help.
Trying to be funny.
Jay
Quellen.
Quellen said, "This is my favorite one."
Yeah, they
He
roasted
is
me on this one.
definitely someone's grandma with these responses and rubbing that leg. He got a pot of beans on the stove right now.
Because they was like, this. I'm like, did he die? Oh, I didn't know. Apparently, I was acting like somebody's old woman when
Caleb was like, I was not that bad.
I wasn't that bad. But yeah, there was a comment on there that was like, he should have said, "Oh, I just saw him the other day."
Yeah.
That's something like old people say when he's like, "Oh, so and so passed." They're like, "Oh, I just saw him at Walmart. He told me he was doing good." Like,
Yep.
Anyway,
And then also from our video about the Washington Commanders.
where's the Washington Commanders at? Where do they play?
Who are the Washington Commanders?
That's a great question. Thank you.
Oh, that's the Redskins replacement, right?
Right. Where do they play?
Where?
Where?
In Washington,
Washington where?
Where is Washington?
D.C.
Okay.
So you knew it wasn't Washington State?
Well, NFL teams can't be states. That's left up for college.
Hey,
Yeah, but I thought they played in Washington.
we thought it was
Oregon?
Washington State.
In Oregon,
We thought it was Washington State.
Seattle,
We found out, last week or 2 weeks ago that it was in
they
Washington
have the
State.
Seattle Seahawks. Never mind, y'all. We're not about to do this.
We didn't know.
But apparently said actually the stadium is in Maryland. They're based
Yeah.
in Virginia.
Yeah.
Also, the New York Jets and Giants are in New Jersey.
They're not even really in New York.
But then someone also said,
know
"Can you
that.
imagine New Jersey Jets or New Jersey Giants?" So those are our comments.
Thank you for commenting.
Thanks
Please
for
keep 'em
commenting. Don't forget, comment on our YouTube. Check out our social media channels: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel.
It all helps the algorithm. You comment, it helps build the algorithm. It helps us. Eventually, it'll help us financially. So if you care, comment. I don't care if the comment says LOL. I don't care if the comment says y'all are stupid. Comment. I don't care. It's all good. So let's get into the question of the day.
Question of the day.
Oh, Davy, if a movie starts at 7 p.m., what time are you actually getting to the theater?
I would like to get there at 7. I would like to get there at 7 because I like the previews, especially if it's a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah.
But
What time do you actually show up?
it starts. Okay, it says 7.
7. So you got about 15 minutes.
Nah, in LA you got about 30 minutes, so I'm probably getting there. I'm getting in the park. I pray to God by 7:15. I hope so because I gotta stay in line, get into the whole situation. We gotta get popcorn, we gotta get drinks, and I gotta get a drink.
So you're gonna get in the movie by 8 o'clock.
Nah, it's gonna be 7. It's very much calculated.
That's funny.
This
See,
traffic.
there's been times where I've been 30 minutes early too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Early.
Like I get
Oh, yeah.
get there like 6:30.
Movie starts at 7 o'clock. You got to be there at 6:45 minimum.
Why? The seats are assigned already, so
I
ain't
don't
nobody
care.
Yeah, but
sitting
you
in a
gotta
seat.
check out Nuvi with Maria Menounos.
Nuvi, no, just the previews. I don't want to see nothing before.
How do you say her last name? Menounos?
Menudos. But like, yeah, if it starts at 7, if I'm parking at 7 o'clock, I'm pissed at everybody in the car.
Yeah, because I
Like,
don't want to miss the commercials.
I'm not miss. You ain't. I don't want to miss nothing.
I don't understand the people that say they don't like the commercials.
I do. I love the trailers, but I've gotten used to missing the trailers now. I've accepted it. Like this is a part of my process.
Caleb, but how many times are you late?
To movies, right on time. I'm not. I don't miss theater. I don't miss movies. Because I want to see the previews. Previews is usually better than any movie. So
Do you get concessions?
nah, not anymore. I don't really, because of the way I eat, I don't really get popcorn and soda no more. I walk straight to the theater, find my seat.
Better than me. I don't care if I'm on that.
Can I tell you a story about a show I saw? I was going to see a movie. Now I was by myself, so you know how movie theater seats are now grouped in like groups of twos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get there. And I'm I'm dead center in the theater. And it's a very, very small theater. So I'm sitting in the theater in my seat. And there's a seat next to me that's open because, and bought that ticket. And then there's one seat like a ways away, and it's like there's a handicap sign like on the other side for like a person in a wheelchair. So I'm sitting and I'm enjoying the movie, and I see a couple walk in, and they stop at the seat with the handicap space, and they're like, "Ooh, I thought there'd be a seat there." And I'm just like, "Oh well, it's tough." Now this seat is on the far end. I'm dead center. And the couple walks over to me and they're like, "Hey, excuse me, would you mind giving up your seat and moving to that single person seat? I see you're here by yourself." And I said, "Nah, I'm not moving." Damn. And the girl was like, "Are you being serious right now?" And I was like, "Shh." And I turned and I ignored them. I was like,
well, did she say anything else?
She stood there for like a hot second, like, "Is he being for real?" And and they walked out.
That's good.
I paid for my ticket. Yeah, I'm not about. I don't want to sit in like over there. That's not a good seat. I paid for this seat. You're not gonna.
Exactly.
Now I would have moved if the person in front of me was not there. I would have been like, "I'll just move up front or whatever." But I'm not sitting over there.
Was it a worse seat?
Yes, their seats were way worse. It was on the far end. I sit dead center. I
wouldn't. Yeah, no.
I didn't feel good about ignoring them and telling them to like be gone, but I also didn't feel bad about it. I felt a little bad because I could have moved, but I was like, nah.
Nah, I get it.
It was a Marvel movie.
But you slept good that night, didn't you?
I slept great. I didn't think about that. I thought about them right now.
What's one item from your childhood you would want to have back?
I wish I had like an action figure. Like I had so many cool toys as a kid. Like I wish I had I remember having some really cool action figures, and I wish I had one of those still. Yeah. Or the original Nintendo. It wouldn't still work to this day, but to probably still have it, I would like that because those are cool.
I was thinking about the Atari. We had an Atari.
We did?
Yeah, we had an Atari. And
I do not remember that.
Yeah, that would be classic right now. But
for sure, yeah.
Hey, you remember that yellow little Tykes car we had though? You had to pedal like this.
It was yellow?
Yeah, it was yellow. And you steered it like with these levers. And man, we used to race that mug down the street. Oh my God.
Was it plastic?
Yeah, it was plastic though, with plastic wheels, but it was very dangerous. I don't know why we had it.
You kind of sit low to the ground on it?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, because it was, I don't know. I thought that
maybe I don't remember that. I remember we had a blue go-kart that was battery powered that never worked, but
it did work when I was
you were a kid. By the time it came around to us, we didn't.
Nah, it wouldn't.
So you got all the broken hand-me-downs.
Yeah, you got the hand-me-down joints.
Yeah. But I wish I had some action figures, or I think I had maybe some football cards or something. There's because it'd be worth something today. But also just the nostalgia factor of I can't believe I still have this Captain Hook action figure.
Yeah.
Or a Buzz Lightyear or something. Yeah. I don't know. Legos.
There's not anything that came to mind that. I couldn't think of anything major.
You know what we had as a kid that we shouldn't have had at the the age we were? It was
candy cigarettes.
No. A $3,000 keyboard, a Korg 01W.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's the same keyboard that the Neptunes used for a long time, and we had
that was a $3,000 keyboard.
It was $3,000.
Dang.
That's why Mama was so mad at Daddy all the time. Telling you, I get it.
I'm excited because we're talking today. We're gonna the topic today. So Davix is Caleb's oldest brother.
Oldest,
if we didn't mention that.
Oldest and wisest.
We've had
wisest. That's debatable.
He's a debatable. We've had Chris. You have seen him on the show. His wife Angelique. Which her movie is it getting ready to come out?
I don't know.
Her movie, where she in the biopic of Anne Hart, is coming out. Her short film. So don't forget to check that out when it comes out. But we're going to be talking about what it's like growing up with Caleb from the older brother's perspective today. So I'm excited to kind of hear.
Yeah, that's
hear some of your perspective on Caleb, because maybe you can give some insight to the people,
the dynamic.
Yeah. So now this is a kind of a fun fact that David and I watched WWE wrestling on Monday.
I saw you. Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the majority of it.
Nice.
I watched the majority of it. David watched it too. He had a great time.
I didn't watch it. I observed you watching it.
It was on the main TV in the house. David watched it. He commentated on a lot of things. He watched every moment I watched, he observed.
Who was your favorite wrestler that night?
That night?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
was,
did.
Chad Gable?
It was all a debacle.
He kept asking. He kept complaining about the hits not looking.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, it's different these days. They not doing nothing.
There's some that's how you know they're good. If they
playing
can
it
do a
safe.
match and you can tell that it's like not, then that's how you know it's good. No, you texted me a picture. I was like, okay, yeah.
Well, The Rock was gonna be on. I had to watch that.
Well, and then you texted me that okay, I'm gonna get off now. And then he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Was the end of the tribal combat match. That was a good match.
It was okay.
Did you watch Rhea Ripley become champ?
I did. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only people I knew on there was The Rock and Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan came out with these flappy arms.
Did you see he got booed?
He got booed?
Oh, he got booed out.
He had some controversy for being a racist, and
Oh yeah, because he was hanging with Trump.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's not really.
There was something else.
He's not a popular. He's not a popular character to have on there. So there was some controversy.
Is he the
Yeah.
Diddy of wrestling?
Maybe right now.
No. Ric Flair is.
Maybe. But yeah, David kept commenting. He's like, that ain't even. It don't even look. They're not even. Oh, this is
So you
terrible.
sure it wasn't him that ruined it for you as a kid?
No, it was definitely Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
Chris ruined it. Chris ruined wrestling for me
You know all the way.
How did Chris ruin it for you though?
because I was. David and Chris are both notorious for really spoiling my fun as a child. I was watching wrestling. I told this story before. I was watching wrestling, and I was actually thinking it was very real, and I was cheering at the.
You were a real fan, huh?
I was a very real fan. And I was cheering at the television. I was cheering for The Rock to win this match.
That's crazy.
And Chris sees me cheering at the television and clapping and like, yeah. And he walks in and he's like, you know, that's fake, right? And he just walks out. I think I'm pretty sure I turned it off and didn't
See, what's funny is I could
didn't
see
watch it
David
again.
doing that, but
Yeah, he would have done it.
Yeah. But I didn't know you were like, I didn't know a lot of stuff about Caleb growing up. That's what's funny.
Which is, you know what? Let's just get right into that. David didn't know a lot of stuff about Caleb growing up. Let's
I did
just get
not.
into
growing up with the
our
Foremans.
childhood. Not like, just not growing up with Caleb, but our childhood. Because every time David comes to town, there's always some
Revelation.
reminiscence that goes on with. There's something that like, hey, tell me about this, and his perspective is always wildly different from mine.
It's
Isn't
a
that wild?
180.
It is because like it was really interesting for me to like. I want to skip around because like the last question is, how did you navigate being the oldest child, seeing your parents raise your three younger brothers? Because by the time our parents split, you were what, 15,
Yeah, I was
16?
15. I was 15.
And so I'm like 9 or 8 years old when this is beginning. But even before
but you're
that,
4 years younger than me. It felt like a lot longer, bigger of a gap. Because
Right, it did.
the adolescent versus the teenager is just that much more bigger of a dynamic. So
yeah, like there's memories that I have as a child, and David's like, that didn't happen at all. Like or he'll say it didn't happen like that.
Right.
That's your recollection, but that's
Yeah.
not the reality.
right.
And it's all those are always like, what?
Yeah, like for instance, like my I guess perspective of our band, our family band is always, this difference in dynamic because as quiet as it's kept, you could probably attest to this. I was more like the Joe Jackson of the group. Like I don't even know if it was really because I remember being like the motivator or the pusher or the bully of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Were you excited about the group? Did you enjoy the group?
well, I saw the vision, or I believed in the vision. Let me put it like that. I saw the vision, I believed in the vision, and I thought it was like this realistic, thing that we could, achieve. Given that we all had the same equal passion for it.
Caleb was really passionate about it.
Right. And you don't really like, as a kid, you're just thinking like, okay, we all into it because when really, no, they're being made to do this. They're like, they're like being forced to do this and they don't really have a choice in the matter because, God forbid they say, no, I don't want to do this. Then what are we going to do? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
So did you have a choice? Like, because again, you were you say you saw the vision and you believed in the vision.
Did I feel like I have a choice? I felt like I definitely had a choice, but I was also
chose to do it,
Yeah, I
though.
was also inspired to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a different, effort behind what I was doing. I was actually excited to like learn this song or use this keyboard or play this instrument or do this show, you know what I'm saying? Or actually perform. I was actually excited to do that. Whether it would have been, y'all thing or not, it looked like it was y'all thing because we had all, said we're gonna do this, right?
No, it looked like it was our thing because we would get punished if we didn't make it look like it was our thing.
Exactly.
We had to, as my dad would quote, sing with feeling, like put emotion behind it. And if our vocals and actions and gestures and dance moves didn't look authentic, we had to make our dad and David believe that we were really like about singing these songs and like learning these things. It was it wasn't fun for me.
It wasn't fun.
So,
I'm sure it wasn't fun.
Well, and that's what for you. How was it with the rehearsals and everything? Because I've gotten a very
I was
negative mindset.
Well, yeah, because I was very militant about it. I was very serious. I was a very serious kid. Like I was like. I thought all kids were this serious about their craft. Like, it's like because the examples that were put in front of us were like Michael Jackson's, and I remember our dad would just bring us all these different examples of boy bands and girl groups and family bands, and we're like, yeah, we doing this, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was more so to further mostly probably my interest and. To validate it was my pop's vision for it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because as quiet as it kept, people always ask, is your parents, musically talented? No, they're not. My dad's a painter and my mom, she does her thing, but they're not musically inclined. Yeah. So that's why I take the grunt of the responsibility because my dad wasn't like this, back in the day musician. He was actually a videographer. He shot concerts. Did you know that? You knew that, right?
I learned that like 2 years ago.
Right. So before we were born, he was shooting concerts at Kemper Arena for the gospel bands and the concerts that came into town. And so he knew about, performance and
the music
industry in some light.
Yeah.
But he was never involved in the music business. He's just he knew about it through, people coming into town, things coming across his desk, and opportunities that he was able to get. So yeah.
Do you feel like you and your dad were kind of on the same page?
Yeah, we were on the same page because he was the one that what's that movie Inside Out, that gave me that spark. You know what I mean? Like when you.
Are you talking about Soul?
Oh yeah, not Inside Out.
Oh
Soul.
Yeah, Soul. Yeah.
I like Soul. Soul's a way better movie. With how in Soul, you gotta, they're all the souls are trying to find their spark, and he definitely showed me what my spark was, and it was obviously within.
Which and
music.
it's led you to lots of things nowadays. Yeah, we'll get to talking about that. Same thing with Caleb. I mean that experience, everything has led you to where you are now.
Yeah, as much
you wouldn't
as,
have
as
a number
I,
one talk show podcasts without that. Resume.
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, my father is the main reason why I'm doing what I do today. The sad part is that after the band broke up, I don't think I had anything to do with music for a long time. Like I walked away from it clean. Like, and it was really crazy because after the divorce happened and after my dad and David moved away, like I literally dropped out of choir class. I was like, I'm not singing another note. Like if I don't have to. And I remember the choir teacher, her name was Karen Jeter. She called my dad and said, Caleb dropped choir. And my dad was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't want to.
You know what else Caleb just told me about that he did when I moved to California? He stole my car. Like,
wait,
yeah, tell us about that.
So I told this story on the podcast before. So
you didn't know about this?
I think you were still here. I really do think you were still in town. You might have been at work or at school, or you were somewhere, but your car was in the driveway. And I remember I went to school, I was having lunch, and I was telling one of my friends, I was like, I'm going to drive to your house after school. We're going to hang out for a little bit. He was like, you can't drive. I was like, I'm driving. Watch, when school's out, I'll be at your house right afterwards. And so he told me his address. I knew exactly where it was. I got off the school bus. I went in the house for 2 seconds, grabbed David's keys, and then I got in his car, started. I'm in 9th grade.
Did you know anything about driving?
Nope.
So what made you think
cartoons, video games?
the Flintstones.
Like I knew that gear shift. I knew accelerate and brake. The Prindle. I knew that. I don't know.
It was an automatic, right?
It was automatic.
I feel like as a kid though, with cars, you thought you looked at a car and you're like, yeah, I could drive that.
Like you pay attention. So like I put that bad boy in reverse, backed out the driveway, drove. I was at, if you know Blue Springs, I was on Keystone and Gladstone. Mm-hmm. I drove all the way down Keystone, past Keystone Park, up to like Moreland School Road, up so far south. I think I passed Moreland School Road and I'm in like another subdivision. There's another subdivision, I think Sandstone maybe. I'm a ways away. I drove a few miles away, pulled into his driveway, honked the horn, and he was like, and I backed out of his driveway and drove straight back home. And there was a time I was driving on Keystone and I came so close to hitting a person that was like getting in their car. And I was like, I am cooking down this road. I had the thought, you're driving too fast for this road.
Did you not look at the speedometer?
I don't remember looking at that thing one time.
I never knew.
So you never knew?
Never knew until
I pulled the car back into the driveway, parked the car, went back through David's keys back where they were. And I was cool. Like I just was, I was
and
chilling.
Did your dad find out?
My dad came home and was like, where you been? I don't know how he knew because the car was parked. I parked it in the same spot. But I didn't know you could lie to your parents. And so I was like, I just was at my friend's house. He's like, how'd you get there? And I was like,
isn't it funny? Like
David's car. He was like, yeah, I know you did. And my dad beat me like I stole something.
Because you did.
Your dad didn't tell you?
No, he didn't tell me either.
I thought you knew. Because I thought you probably called. I was like, somebody called daddy and told him that I took David's car. And
Someone
I thought it was
probably
you.
saw you.
Probably.
So my question, like, were you guys close growing up? I know there was a gap, and I know that you and Josh were a year apart. You and Chris were a year apart.
Yeah.
So I get
we were
that.
close when
you were
I think,
older, kind of annoyed by the younger kids.
Yeah, I mean, it was that older brother dynamic, of course, because I had 3 of them. But yeah, like me and Chris probably were the closest in relationship, and we had the relationship we had was band members, bandmates, and co-workers.
We were close when it came to music.
Yeah. And we didn't really like get close until we stopped doing music together. You know what I'm saying? And it became like, oh, there's a life outside of music. Who
brother.
are you?
Yeah.
You know
Right. Like, do you have memories of us just being brothers? Like,
Absolutely. We used to play fight, Ninja Turtles, Morphin Power Rangers, like all that stuff. Like we used to beat each other up. That was the dynamic of us being brothers. That's what it is.
Oh, but yeah, brothers.
I do remember that there are some memories I have where when our parents used to go to these Amway meetings.
Oh yeah, we used to.
And there were nights we didn't have babysitters. Like it was like, I guess David became old enough to watch all of us.
Yeah, I was like,
and it was like, we got
10's a good age, right?
Yeah.
we probably should have had a babysitter, but we would like get microwave burritos out and fix our own dinners and just.
It was a good time.
Those were good times because those were nights where we probably didn't have to practice.
Yeah, we wasn't doing much. You know what?
Like,
do you remember us going camping and stuff?
No.
What? Man, see, we used to go camping, like, because the church would go on these camping trips. And I remember this
like outside?
Yeah, we was outside in tents, like, setting up stuff, and we cooked on this fire pit.
Yeah.
This like a beef stew in this can. It was that's one thing. I remember the taste of that. It was amazing. But anyway.
I'd have bet every dollar in my account I never went camping.
That's funny.
We went camping.
We went camping
fishing.
when I was a kid. I loved camping.
I remember fishing.
But that's the one thing I do love and miss about Blue Springs and that in this area is the nature, the rural life of it, the farm life. It really is.
When did you move out to California?
2002. Yeah, like the next year after.
So wait, was that when? Okay, so I guess I've never really actually talked to you about this, Caleb, or learned. Your parents split up.
Yep.
What was that like for you guys? Obviously, you guys are going from a united family to now suddenly 2 homes.
I remember, first of all, by the time they told us, I think I had the thought, it's about time. Because I remember fights.
I'd say the
fights a
fights.
lot.
I
yeah.
remember my mom and dad shouting and screaming at each other. My mom storming out the bedroom, storming out the house. I remember that. And I remember that it was, if not nightly, very often. And so by the time that all came to a head and they because I remember them calling us into the living room and sitting us all down and saying, your mother and I or your dad and I are getting a divorce. I remember that. I remember that conversation. I remember Joshua immediately crying. Not to make fun of him. It hit him differently.
Yeah.
And I remember me just be like, yeah, about time. Like, okay.
How old? Because if I was 15, you had to be 11 then.
11 or 10, yeah.
Yeah.
So were you? You said that your dad and you moved to California after that.
Not completely.
No,
after-
there was still another
2-3
two
years,
or
right?
3 years because they had split because they went through somewhat of a difficult custody battle, going back and forth between joint custody, who would get visitation. All
because my
this.
dad's intention was to try to keep the band together. That was his,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is that
Right.
when the band ended?
No,
No, we kept it going.
we kept it going because so we got. I guess my dad got joint full custody, where we were with him because we stayed in the same school districts, same schools. My mother moved out to Kansas City, and so then we saw her every other weekend or something like that. And so then the weekends we were with her, we were most of, if not all four of us, were there with her for the weekend, and then we would go back because we had to go to school. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah, my dad wanted to make sure that at least the oldest two graduated from the school they had started in. So I graduated. I stayed in Blue Springs South and graduated from there. So,
I remember Chris talked about it, and he said the thought that he had was, I'm alone. He went from feeling like we're in a family unit to him
Yeah.
feeling he's by himself. And I don't understand that, but I remember that's what he said.
So, and that's interesting that's his perspective. That's his, truth about it. Mine was more so both of our parents, they had very intimate conversations with me, separately. So it was me learning, about a man and his heart and his, heartbreak. And it was me learning about a woman. I couldn't look at her as my mother. I had to learn about women. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn about a woman's need, a wife's needs. And accepting, hey, this is what it is. And it didn't necessarily I can't say it was a difficult time. It was just one of those things where I had to accept it. You know what I mean? It was more so let me figure out how to navigate now and not, let this affect my focus, which was,
Yeah.
whatever it was I was pursuing, with music and entertainment. So yeah, as a kid, or a teenager, you try to, stay tough and, focus on, staying in school or, doing well in school. Cause I think I was a junior in high school. Yeah. And I think I was a junior. And at that time I stopped playing basketball because I said, I'm gonna focus more on my music stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, started running a studio in my basement. It was just one of those things where it kind of shook my faith in the sense of well, I can't say shook it, but more so helped me just wake up to reality.
Yeah.
Everything is not, a fairy tale. Everything is not what you think it is. And people have feelings. And
Yeah. No, it's hard. I mean, I remember. So my mom and my biological father got divorced when I was 6, and I remember. I vaguely remember my dad said that if he leaves this time, because I think he'd left before, it'd be the last time. So he left. And I remember feeling like I had to be the man of the house at that point. Even though I had older brothers, I felt like I had to protect my mom. It's funny, though, hearing the different perspectives from each sibling.
yeah.
It's cool. It's really interesting to sit down with your relatives and brothers and go, how did you feel during that time?
Because
your
I don't think
feelings are
we've ever
yours.
done that ever.
No,
I'm
not
pretty sure we haven't.
really. The divorce really didn't shake me up until 6 years afterwards when I found out exactly why they got divorced. That's when because it was when
See, I had to find out immediately. I'd be like, this is what's going on. Let me show you.
because mama didn't tell me, daddy didn't tell me. It was just
Nah.
I want a divorce. So I accepted it, but the reason why didn't come in
and
until
you guys had to create your own
Narrative.
assumptions,
Yeah.
and narrative of what happened.
I didn't know that there were assumptions to be made. I just thought that they just like, in a sense, divorced.
Right.
But when I found out that it was because my mother wasn't happy, I went into I think a solid 2 or 3 month depression where I
Really?
it was over the summer. I was still in like high school. I was in like 9th or 10th grade.
Is that when you start playing football? You tell me about?
Nah. But I
It
was
was
like,
his emo phase.
I did. I went through a phase where I truly did not speak for like a month.
Oh.
Interesting.
Like I didn't talk. Like I went to school, didn't talk, came home, didn't talk. And then it was I noticed that I was not speaking when I went to try to speak, and literally my vocal cords did not, like, it was difficult to try to get words out.
I didn't know that, Caleb.
I shut down, and I sat in my room in my mom's house, and I didn't talk to people for months. And what really hurt was because, like, my mother seemed to not notice that I was going through this, which made my spiral even worse. Because I was like, she don't even see me. She's just so focused on her new husband and my new stepfather, whom I did not get along with, like, at all.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that because I was probably moved out to LA.
You were gone by then, yeah. And so I had to endure years with my stepfather, and those were I wouldn't say years, but it was a rough like 2 years.
In the timeline, we'll get to the stepfather real quick. But so when did it end?
Boy,
The band, when did it end?
hey,
I don't know if
bleep that. It's just, I just want you to, just because it's funny. Like we've never said the band name on the podcast. I think it slipped
funny.
one time.
That's funny. I don't know when Caleb I know when it ended though. It was because it was a very.
I know when and where.
I mean, I'm sure we have the same, recollection then. Mm-hmm. But it ended, with a conversation between me and my dad about. I think I was at my manager's house in LA. Are we on the same page?
Probably within a week of this conversation.
Yeah, my pops and I had a conversation with the manager I had at the time. Back, I don't know when it was. I can't remember.
Probably 2003 or 4.
Yeah, and that's when it ended. When I had decided that I was going to focus on being a producer and not do the artist thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because I had felt like, or not even felt like, well, let me say this. I had felt like I wasn't about to like seriously compete with the stars at that time. And those at the time, it was Usher's, Confessions, he was about to put out Confessions. B2K, Justin Timber, or no, NSYNC.
Backstreet Boys.
And it was moving to LA, it really had opened up my eyes as to like the real work needed to get what we said we were trying to get done.
And I'm sure it's been crazy. Just I'm thinking now, just living there for 20 years now to see the change.
Yeah, and when I had like learned and accepted and come to the conclusion that it's going to take us another 5 to 10 years really to really put in real work and make this work. And I didn't believe that my brothers were really dedicated to really to making.
Did you know at that point?
Oh yeah. When you get into the ring, you know if you're a fighter or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you learn very quickly to see, like when you get into battle, you learn, on the trench line who's really built for this.
Like, I mean, even like you can look back and see if I have to ask you or tell you I need you to rehearse, that person really don't want to be about that life.
And in this business, it's slim pickings and you really can't mess around with it. And that was another reality I had to like start to accept. Like, wow, okay, it's got to be this or that, and it can't be any other way.
Yeah. That's
when I had a conversation with my pops and was like, I don't think this is going to work. He wanted to believe it was going to work. He fought tooth and nail with me, and we, and I just had to bring it to him with the truth that, I need to pursue this solo dolo. Cut them loose. Let them live their lives.
Could you tell? So
broke his heart too.
Did you know?
Broke his heart.
Did you know at that point? Like, could you tell they were forced?
Yeah. Because like I said, when you get into into the ring and you really get an understanding of what it's what's really happening and who these people are that are actually participating in being successful at it or failing at it or trying all these different things, you get an assessment as to like, you know, what's really happening. And even to this day, like I still have to be that militant about who I surround myself with, who I work with, who I spend my time with when it comes to the business of this, of music or whatever, or entertainment. So
did you guys, I know you guys had an album. I know you guys had songs. I've heard one of them.
Yeah, we put out some. But again,
like,
this is all before the internet was the internet.
Yeah, before LimeWire,
so
before
you
all
can
that.
go and
Did
look
you do
for
shows?
Yeah, we did a lot of shows.
We did.
Because people knew, because your wife's family knew you, and I still think that's so interesting.
We were a wild big deal in Blue Springs, and
we kind of were, I guess.
Yeah, because our music teacher at Daniel Young, Debbie Gray, she was one of our biggest supporters. Like our poster was up in her classroom years after we left that school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but your wife isn't from here.
No, she's not. But again, her relatives all worked for the school district, and we were in every talent show across every school that we went to. Blue Springs South, Moreland Ridge. We did every talent show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the band we were around. Like we did one of y'all's homecoming
No, we
dances.
did. Yeah, people tell me about that. We did a homecoming show for my high school.
Nice.
Like the band did that. And
yeah.
so, you know, we were known, like the Foreman brothers were known as that's a band.
Yeah.
When we had an album, I remember David would burn our album on CDs. We would go to school and like I would sell CDs of my people, and my friends still have that CD.
Yeah, one of my friends still do. Like
still has it from.
Can I buy one?
Absolutely not.
No.
Again, this is all before the internet. So
At least I've heard a song, you know.
Yeah.
What song did I hear? Which one was that?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
He doesn't want to say the name on the air.
No, I don't. But like, it's interesting to think about what if we really took those 5 years to really try to like pursue it, but also to think about the people, every manager, every person that was interested in being a part of our brand. All of the people that I think about now were really just trying to take advantage of us and trying to just get in on.
I don't know in
the
sense,
ground level of what.
I don't think they knew. I don't think anybody had a clue, honestly,
of what they were doing.
Nobody had a clue what they were doing.
They just wanted to be a part of it.
They just wanted to be a part of it, and they saw something that could have been. But like I said, you asked the question, what if we did take those 5 years? I wouldn't have took those 5 years because I had already decided that I don't want to do that. Like because it's like playing football in high school and you're the best in high school. But when you get to the NFL and you see how big these dudes are, you kind of like you might change your mind. And I was that guy. Like I was like, I don't have the build to be in rehearsals every day, 8 hours a day, to be and to actually. This is what it was for me. This is what threw me off. When I started doing photo shoots, I couldn't take myself seriously. And when and it was the moment when I looked at a girl in the audience and I saw this girl like just fangooling over me. And I just thought to myself in that moment when I was on stage, she's insane. These people are insane. You're all insane. Like you should not be worshiping me for the stuff that I shit out of my ass. Like, and that's what it was. Like, so I just like, I said, I enjoy the idea of getting to have someone as a muse, and I get to express myself in 100 different ways as a producer, as a songwriter, as a curator, and I just have a lot more fun with that type of effort, with that type of extension, because the whole it's just so weird to me to for someone to really. Like I love performing. Like even to this day, I still perform. I'll still play sax, or I'll still DJ, or I'll still even sing some karaoke. But to like have people like just throw themselves faint over you, that's incredible. And then for you to take advantage of it. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. It's being in the producer chair is already enough. It's already enough. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was asinine.
No, I don't know how I would react.
And I did, and I was like, this is hilarious. I knew I wasn't going to be able to take it serious for the rest of my life because, and so now that I'm the person who develops artists, I look for that. Who's crazy enough to really be that person? And those are the people I actually want to work with. You got to be out of your mind. You got to be that little bit of delusional. You have to be a little bit narcissistic. But that's the only thing that works as a artist these days. You have to be that little bit over the edge. You got to be that weirdo of a guy to say, I like for people to fan out over me, to crash out over me. I need that though. Me as the producer, I need that.
Yeah.
I wanna kind of circle back to our upbringing, because I don't think I've ever asked you, what was it like? Can you explain your mental thought, your mental wherewithal about recognizing I'm the oldest brother, and then seeing me and Chris be middle children, and then having Joshua as the youngest brother? Do you understand what that dynamic is like when you see people who you know now that you find out, oh, you're a middle child. Oh, you're just like my brother.
No, I get it. I definitely get it. Even when it comes to, the dynamic of sisters, like I see how I relate with, the oldest sibling of any family. And I see where the dynamic is similar with, the youngest sibling and Joshua.
So when you find out someone's like the youngest, you're like, all right, that checks out. Like it makes sense that you're the youngest.
Yeah, and being the older brother, I see how the youngest, or not even the youngest, I see how the middle gets ignored or got ignored in some areas. I see that. And it wasn't necessarily being ignored because I got in trouble for the things that y'all probably actually did, but I got blamed for it because...
Disagree.
Oh, no, I don't disagree at all.
I blamed my brothers
all the time.
Nah.
I did.
But yeah, I definitely see the similarities in all families and all sibling dynamics in that.
Nah, to this day, I retain my innocence. I didn't do nothing.
Right. No. Actually, Caleb was the cool one. You know what I'm saying? Like he rarely got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? If he did get in trouble, it was by association a lot of the times.
With Josh?
With Joshua.
Yeah, because the thing about growing up with four brothers, because David's right. Chris and David were kind of like the two older brothers, and we all really didn't just kick it like that. But Chris and David were usually kind of paired up together, and me and Joshua really were paired up together because Chris and David didn't have to share a room.
Oh, right, yeah.
They didn't share. David had the basement, coolest bedroom in the house. Chris had his room, and then Caleb and Joshua had the smelliest room in the house. We always had bunk beds. We always had to share stuff. We always had to, we got their hand-me-downs. And so it was really me and Josh got what was left.
Y'all lived a different lifestyle.
Me and Josh got what was left of the attention and the energy of our parents.
Yeah, the energy and attention, for real.
Because again, Chris and David, straight A students. I think
and
David...
we didn't understand why y'all made C's and D's. It's like, we eating the same dinner, got the same parents, y'all went to the same school and got better teachers. What's the problem?
You know how many times my dad would say, why can't you be more like David and Chris?
See, I never heard that. I never heard that. That's
Which
crazy.
I wouldn't like that.
That's terrible.
When we brought home report cards that weren't A's, your brothers got straight A's. Yeah, well, I'm Me's.
But I mean, it's easy. I get it. I will say there are things being a parent now, and I know my kids are only 4 and 2, so I have.
Okay, you got 2. Okay.
Yeah, I have no I'm not a.
No, but that was a thing back in the
experienced.
80s. Like parents were they were trying to have 4 to 8 to 12 kids, and
I couldn't. 2's enough.
It was crazy to be partnered up with Joshua because me and Joshua were two brothers that couldn't be. We were nothing alike.
They weren't nothing like, but they got treated like they were like all the time.
We had to dress the same. We got the same shirts and stuff. And so it was so annoying to be partnered up with this person that you really did not get along with. And so Joshua and I fought like cats and dogs every other day. Me and him also played together a lot, but when we played, it always turned into a fight every time.
Always.
And so because we were fighting and because we were roughhousing so much, stuff got broke. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of the scuffle, if a lamp got knocked over or something got spilt,
or a whole head got busted,
then David would get in trouble because
I wasn't watching y'all.
Why aren't you watching them?
Yeah, to the hospital, emergency.
Oh man, remember how many times did Josh crack his head on the fireplace?
At least twice. It could have been 3.
I remember
it's
for
definitely
sure
twice.
Once,
Definitely twice.
Yeah. And so again, because David wasn't watching us, who knows what David was doing?
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, but obviously,
but like there was nothing that I will stand by this. That there was nothing. I don't think I really did anything except steal his car, and I stole like $1.50 out my dad's wallet when I was a kid to buy a handmade bracelet. I stole $1.50, and this was when gas was like cheap,
89 cents, 99 cents.
Apparently, it might have been $1.50, $2 max. I stole that out my dad's wallet, and that was the gas money my dad needed to get to work.
That's crazy.
And he was asleep, and I snuck in his room, took that little money, went to school, bought the dumb bracelet. I think I lost the bracelet that day.
Did he get to see the bracelet at least?
No, because when I came home, he was waiting for me. And he was like, "Did you take some money out my wallet?"
How you know?
He knew it was me. He didn't ask about one other brother. He knew it was me.
Golly, and Caleb.
That was the last time I got whooped. I'm pretty sure because he whooped me around the house.
Do you ever feel it? Was there stuff you got away with?
I don't think so.
How much other stuff did you steal?
I was a klepto. I used to steal hot dogs from Quick Trip. I used to steal cookies from Quick Trip. Quick Trip became the spot to steal from.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. Cause there's this little white boy named Caleb. He was like 8 years old. I was older than him, and we went to Quick Trip one time, and I saw him stealing cookies. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And so that just became my little.
I never was a thief.
I was a klepto.
I wasn't a thief.
I told you about the time I stole shoes from from high school when I stole shoes.
You almost got a fight.
I didn't almost get in a fight. I almost
shoes
got beat
from somebody?
up. Okay, again, I apologize for the viewers. In 9th grade, I wore a size like 9.5, 10.5 shoe, and I stole. I didn't understand exclusive like shoe releases from Foot Locker. I didn't understand that.
So you just thought everybody had them from Foot Locker.
This locker was just open at school, and this is at Lincoln. I'm in an all black school.
Oh God!
And I take these shoes and I wear them to school the next day.
That's crazy work.
And the senior, I was a freshman. The senior was like, "Hey, where you get them shoes from?" And I was like, "Champs, man, I don't know." He's like, "You lying? That's an exclusive Foot Locker shoe. If that shoe is a 12, I'm beating your ass right now." God. And his girl at the time was like, "Don't hit him, don't hit him." And I'm just like, "For real?" And so obviously I'm wearing his shoes. And so I had to walk around school like with no shoes on for a couple hours until another kid was like, "Hey man, you can borrow these shoes."
I did not know that about you, Caleb. That is crazy.
I was a klepto.
What else went missing?
God.
He may have stolen more from you.
Don't feel bad though. I
don't feel bad about it.
I got one klepto story, but mine was a business though. Like,
you robbed a bank?
Almost. I robbed the school candy store. No, I never told nobody this.
I mean,
so Blue Springs, yeah, they can't get me now. But a janitor, I don't know how
the cops are watching.
I don't know how I obtained these keys, but it was the janitor's master key to the whole school. I don't know how I got them. I forgot. Can't tell you. But
that's the secret.
I was like, so I started casing the candy store after school for a week. As soon as I learned, where the janitors were and what hall, I was like, all right, cool, I'm going in here. And I just snatched, like, not all the candy, but just enough to have my own stash to sell at a cheaper price.
Oh, so you didn't even take money?
No. I took the candy so I could sell it at a cheaper price. I was like, the candy store got that for $1. I got it for 50 cents. Because anyway, so I was, what I'm saying? I was doing my thing, but
that's funny.
Eventually,
he was an entrepreneur at a young age.
At a young age, hey,
I got some fresh candy for you, y'all.
Reparation started early, so I just wanted to make sure. Like at least I was making a business out of my
for sure
thievery.
Oh my god!
Got to make money off of it.
Yeah.
No.
But the only reason why I got caught is because I was in the band room at a time that they knew when nobody's supposed to be in there, and they knew they locked the door, and I was just in there like getting some batteries out of a remote control or something stupid. That's what it was. I went to go take some batteries out of remote control. like a dummy and got caught.
So did
They
you get in
caught you with the
trouble?
key?
Yeah, because they was like, how you get in here? There's no way you could have got in here because I just locked it. And I was like,
So did you get in trouble?
nah, I don't think I got in trouble.
So what is it? What's your relationship like with Caleb now as an adult? Post band?
Yeah. You know
Like,
what?
what was that relationship like to where it is now?
The thing I always tell Caleb, I'm so proud of the man he's become now because he's such a better adult than me and a lot of other people that I know. Like the level of responsibility that I see him having is incredible. So,
What's you lying to David about?
No, y'all know what I'm talking about. This whole Kansas City life, being married, having kids, having your basement organized in Tupperware and stuff, having all,
That's his OCD.
It is.
It's great though. I applaud it, but the relationship I have with all my brothers now is just so much more.
Each
open.
relationship is different.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Each relationship is different.
Yeah.
Like the relationship I have with him is different from Chris, especially Joshua. Joshua and I's relationship is still pretty tumultuous. It's like I wish it could be like better. I wish we were cool. Like we're
gonna have him
cordial.
on the
That's funny.
podcast. We're gonna
I
do
asked
some
him,
therapy.
he said no. But like
I asked him, he said yes. So
we're cordial, but like I wish there was like a little bit more depth to the relationship than what it
listen,
is.
Josh, just get ready. I'm gonna come to your facility
he's
and
coming on.
you're coming on the show.
Oh yeah,
No.
he got to pull up.
But
He
the
said,
thing-
just let him know. The one time you invited him,
I was
you
on- I
asked
think I
him
was on
2
the way
hours
here.
before the show started.
they not serious. No, but like I was saying, like the dynamic now is that I feel like I learn a lot from Caleb now, like in the sense of like, well, now that you told me you've been stealing all my stuff, I just don't know how to trust, like where the trust thing is. You make me have trust issues now.
You had a phenomenal change jar in your bedroom. I used to steal from that too.
I don't even know. Listen.
He had I mean, his change. He had this.
You know, I'm acting.
So this is why he's so nice to me now, I think.
He had this change jar, man. I swear, so many quarters.
I'm
in there.
acting
Oh.
shocked every time. I'm the youngest. Of course I stole like coins and stuff from my parents. Had a change jar. I'd always find
David had
quarters.
the best change jar.
And it's not even stealing, it's entitlement. You just feel entitled to it. And I
I feel like it was
I
my-
never felt entitled. I knew that if David ever found out I was stealing change out of his change jar.
Well, I
probably
always said
agree.
that I would put it back in there when I got money.
Did you know? I don't think. Do you remember the time that you whooped me?
I whooped you.
You whooped me.
I was about to
Which
cuss
time?
her.
Which time?
Why?
One time.
Why would I have done that?
It was.
Was I ordered to? Did somebody tell me to?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Did Dad put me in charge? Of
No,
them?
it was him and it might have been Chris too. Chris got involved in I
whooped
pray
you.
I'm not making this up, but we was at church and I remember it was like me and Joshua were much too old to be doing this, but it was like, hey, if you want to go down to children's church, go down to children's church. And me and Josh were way too old to be doing that. And I remember you and Chris were like, don't go down there. And me and Joshua got up and went down there. Anyway, after church, we're back at our mom's spot. And you and Chris both like, we told y'all not to go down there. We're going to whoop y'all. And I'm so
Terrible.
sure they whooped us with a hose.
Oh,
Not like, again, we didn't like get like beat to smithereens.
Not
but
some
like,
hoes.
it was like they
A-hoes.
tackled us and like hit us a couple times, made Joshua cry.
made him cry.
After Joshua got done, it was like, all right, Caleb, you next. And I tried to take off. Chris hog tackles me. And David.
So whenever they got done,
What?
was the response, don't tell mom and dad?
no, I don't know about
We
that.
didn't care.
No? See, my brothers
they
always
never
hold...
like hit me and like, don't tell dad.
My brother Tyler held me to like a verbal contract for like 2 years.
No,
That
it
I
was
would have to
never
do
don't
whatever.
tell.
Because I had smoked with my brother. I had smoked one of his cigarettes. I took a puff when I was a little kid. And Tyler told me he would tell mom if I didn't do whatever he wanted for the next 2 years or whatever. And he held, like I was a kid. So he held me, he'd like give me a glass of water. One day he asked me to get him a glass of water. And I said no. He said, okay. He walked up those stairs, went into mom's room. I went in there bawling. And then he walked out, didn't even tell her. He's like, that's what I thought. Now go
Nah,
get me water.
David and Chris never like threatened to tell
we didn't
anything.
care.
It was they were just
That's crazy.
still on us.
We held
One
y'all
time.
down. and
One
beat-
time.
That's Crazy. What other crazy stuff do we do?
Oh man,
That's diabolical.
There was
Big
a
brother
time,
stuff, though.
There was a time after the divorce where I remember that I really wanted to start hanging around y'all, and y'all wanted nothing to do with us. And so this is at Stonegate where you would go hang out like down at the playground or whatever down at this little area with some people. I think one of the girls' names was like, gosh, I forget their names. But anyway,
The Figueroas.
No, this is at Stonegate. This is over in Independence or Kansas City. Sorry. And they were just.
Oh, I know who them girls was.
I forget their names. I
It
forget
was
their
some
names.
twins.
It was two twins.
Yeah.
And you and Chris was like y'all were very interested in girls at the time. I just wanted to hang out with y'all, and y'all kept getting mad at me because I was blocking. Because
Yeah.
I would just be around, and y'all was
You
like,
just gotta understand this. I still stand on that. Wouldn't have changed that. No, no, we still standing on that. Yeah.
Remember when I told you that I went through a musty phase where I was like not showering?
You also wouldn't flush the toilet?
Forget that part. There was a musty phase. Don't
Did you know
stop.
about that?
No, he doesn't know about that.
There
But
was
we
a
went-
phase in his life where he would not flush after going poop.
Anyway, the musty phase, David brought me out of the musty phase because we were in an airport and I was musty.
Yeah, you used to be musty. I remember that.
And he went up and told me what. He walked up, looked me dead in my face and said, your smell is offensive.
That's a good way to, like, if it's your brother, you go up and tell them.
Oh God.
Yeah, I can't do BO.
I went into the bathroom right after that and like just washed under my armpits real quick. Oh, that was the end of my musty phase. He got me out of that.
Good. God.
David taught me how to cook breakfast though as a kid.
Yeah, he said that the other day, and I was like, yeah, because he made some breakfast the other day, and I was like, wow, this is actually amazing.
David got me into it.
What was it?
He got me into making pancakes. Because when he would go to school, he used to go to school like super early, and I remember waking up with him or being up when he's like getting ready to leave because he left first, and he would make breakfast for himself, and then he would like let me have his leftovers, and it was always like pancakes and eggs and stuff.
Really?
Yes.
So you got
It
the
wasn't
scraps?
often. Yeah, I was happy to eat. And so David, I would watch him like cook, and I remember seeing him do these things, and I was like, I could do this. And so yeah, David was responsible for me learning. He was responsible for me learning how to cook like
Interesting.
breakfast.
I didn't know that.
Look, you're inspiring him.
Well,
No, I'm excited. We're going to talk a little bit more on our next episode about Davi and his journey in the producing world, Hollywood. Kind of some. There's actually one question I'm really intrigued on your answer, but you have to wait till next week. So, as always, let's go to our weekly segment, which
That's
is
crazy.
That's crazy.
when you have a birthday coming up, or if anybody has a birthday coming up, and they send you like an Amazon link to something that they want, or they have a registry. Do you get them what's on the registry, or do you get them something like what's on the registry?
I get them what's on the registry.
Because my lunatic of a wife is on the other side of that. Because like my friend Katrina wanted some Tupperware. She sent me an Amazon wish list with Tupperware on it. It's a specific kind, and was like, oh, I can just go to Costco and get that. I was like, or we could just get her what she asks for.
Well, now that you put more context to the story, Caleb. First off, if they put a certain type of Tupperware that I'm thinking of that we use from Sam's Club, you get a lot more for cheap at Costco, and I would rather have that set than anything I put on my registry.
So you don't listen either.
No, I do, but that Tupperware is a very random. I thought it was going to be something very specific.
Nah. No, my wife is still kind of
Is
crazy.
it the one
like,
with the lids that collapse on the side?
yes, but here's the thing. But what if
I
she already
go to Sam's
has,
Clubs too then.
if she already has that brand that's on her Amazon link, and then you go to Costco and get one that's like that, you now have two sets of Tupperware with lids that don't match up.
But what if you get
Ain't no what if. You just
hold
get me
on.
what I asked for.
What if I bought the one from Sam's Club? It was a better one than the one you had on your list because that's all Amazon had available, and it came with more.
Let that be my problem. Get me what I asked for. I sent you a link for a
I
reason.
feel like Tupperware is not the thing to fight over.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying it caused a small argument in my house I was like, why don't we just get her what she asked for? Like, how about we just follow instructions? And
I'm
was
with you.
like, no, we should just go to Amazon.
In that specific situation, I'm with
Nah,
your wife
I was
because I
pissed.
would have went to Sam's Club and got the containers.
and I'd have been pissed. I'd have been like, what you do this for? I didn't ask for this. Get me what I asked for.
Are you married?
Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close, bro.
Because I know Chris is married. Okay.
I don't think I've even thought about proposing to a
I
woman.
thought you were about to say kiss a girl.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What you got this week for that's great? Actually, you know what? Save yours because mine's stupid. So that way we can end on something. Hopefully.
I mean, what you thinking that I was about to say I've never kissed a girl? That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. No, I was gonna say Fortnite. You know, I've been playing it a lot lately.
Yeah.
The emotes. Fortnite. I really think we need some THYF emotes. I was thinking about because we really do need to start streaming. We've been playing with Everett and Joel. That is prime content right there.
Yeah.
Listen to Joel be like, I can't stop moving. And Everett being like,
Okay.
I'm dead. But then I was thinking, like, what if we actually made it on, you know how you can buy streamers on there as skins? And then like what our emote would be.
That's a great idea.
I think we would be in couches asking questions to people.
That'd be cool.
Or we sit on the couch and be like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
You ever thought about that?
Yes. It's a great idea.
What would you do if your brother was in a game?
A Fortnite character.
I really want to figure out a way to make that happen.
Bruh.
I just really, my mind is focused on that. So,
All right, what you got for this segment this week?
well, to be honest, about something that's very, very actually crazy, but serious though too. Right tonight we're filming this episode while there's a crazy disaster, a fire disaster happening near my home in LA. And what's crazy is how this city has not taken the preventative measures that it needed to take when this fire happened, something similar to it 5 years ago. Because what's also crazy is you don't really understand the magnitude of it until like you're actually on the 405 and you see a wall of fire next to you. You can feel the heat.
Yeah.
You can feel it, but it still looks surreal. It's still it looks like it's something out of a movie. And I just want to, send some prayers out there to the people affected by this fire right now, because like I heard it's even more devastating than what it was 5 years ago. So when my roommate sent me, pictures from our driveway, I was like, yo, they haven't told y'all to evacuate yet? Because it's like you can see it from, our driveway of where I live at.
And we're not well versed with wildfires. I honestly didn't know this was happening until yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a friend mark themselves safe, and I was like, "Oh, there's a wild."
Yeah,
and I saw a picture of it today. So is it going to reach your house or anything? Or?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't reach the house. But
Okay.
it's 2 or 3 like cities, or like I would say cities, but towns.
Yeah.
Or divisions away.
But you can still,
I can drive to the fire in 20 minutes up the freeway.
I imagine that would be scary to see.
What makes it so crazy this particular time though is just this wind storm we've been having. So it's just crazy how God be putting me in places like when these natural disasters be happening in different parts of the country.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I always find myself on the opposite end of it for
That's
whatever
good.
reason. But yeah, I just
Blessed.
wanted to acknowledge the families and friends that I got out there that are dealing with that. I know it's a tough time right now, so stay safe.
Yeah.
By the time that this comes out, pray to God things
Next week.
will be.
Yeah. Hopefully it should be cleared up by next week.
No, this podcast, this episode drops next Wednesday.
Oh, next Wednesday. So no, we'll still be going through cleanup. Definitely.
I get because the climates, especially now I've seen it, like how they spread so fast. I get because it's so dry that it
Now,
just.
if you look at, you got the weather app on the iPhone, right? So it gives you, all the metrics. And when you look at that percentage of rain or humidity, it's literally 0% in LA all the time.
Yeah.
So it's very dry. There's no, any sort of moisture happening for a long time. And so I'm just praying for some rain. That's all we need right now. It's
So
just some
does
rain.
it typically happen because of people?
the little fires. Let me give you some perspective on how these other little fires start. There's a lot of homelessness happening in LA, and so there are parts of LA where you got homeless people, and they're starting fires, staying warm, or they're cooking. And so when you get this wind happening, because I remember even today they were telling me about a fire that's not too far. It's in a park called the Woodley Fire, but it started in a park. But that's because there's homeless people there. Had fires going, and you get enough wind going, it gets the fire becomes unmanageable. So that's the only issue with those little fires and brush fires, all in these awkward places in LA. But everything on the coast of Malibu and the Palisades, it's just crazy how they don't spend the money to take preventative measures. And you would think,
because you hear about them every year.
We have fires every year, but nothing this crazy, nothing this bad. And if you ask me if it was something
orchestrated,
I don't know. I can't say, but it doesn't look
legally on the podcast. You can't say.
It doesn't look like this was a natural thing.
Gotcha.
The wind does, make up for a lot of turmoil, but I don't know.
People be fishy sometimes. No. Well, I know we're gonna have you on for our episode next week, but thank you for coming out all the way.
Absolutely.
He flew all the way from LA just to be here.
Just to do this. Hey, real quick, I got one more thing. I just want to confess to David. Do you ever remember keeping a diary on a computer?
Yeah, I think I try to keep a diary. I think I try to keep my dreams or something.
Because he read it, apparently.
You read it? It was on a computer?
It was on a computer.
How long was this diary entry?
It was
yesterday, right?
Shut up. It was 10 to 20 journal entries. It wasn't long.
Yeah, I couldn't stay consistent. So what I would have, I'm glad you read it. What did it say?
That's true.
There was a lot of just a lot of dreams, and then just a lot of it was just what you did that day.
So what did I do that day?
I'd rather not. I'd rather not air your business out. There is just certain things that I remember vividly. I was like,
vividly.
What? Vividly.
We'll talk about this off camera. God. We will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
He wasn't around, but I read every entry.
Well,
I need to know what you know. That's why he's so nice to me now. Yo.